So when I was studying in the US, I was pursuing my master's in business administration in University of Texas at Dallas in 1990 as a 20-year-old, and I used to see Americans display the national flag, their national flag all over. And seeing them display the American flag so much, I also wanted to fly the American flag. But then it occurred to me, I said, I'm not American. How can I fly the American flag? And then I was like, okay, I'm an Indian, I should fly an Indian flag. And I asked my friends, I said, where can I find an Indian flag? They said, oh, you can call it from India, or there's a flag shop in downtown Dallas, and you'll be able to get an Indian flag there. I said, okay, I'll go and get it. And then after a few days, this friend of mine, American friend of mine, Randy Miley, he gifted me an Indian flag. And when I opened the packet and I saw it was such a large Indian flag in nylon, and that was the first time I had ever touched the Indian flag. As a 21-year-old then, I had never in India, I never got a chance to touch or feel the Indian flag. And that's when I experienced the happiness, the joy, the inspiration the flag brought to me. I was president of my student government of the university and wanted to put up the national flag, Indian flag, in my office. But I was a bit apprehensive. I said, I hope they don't mind it, that in a American university, I'm putting up a Indian flag. And that was my office there, small office. And I asked, I said, is it okay? He said, yeah, it's cool, no problem. So I put up the flag there. And every time I saw the flag, I used to feel really inspired, really happy. People used to ask me about it, and I used to very proudly tell them. And after I completed my studies, I came from Dallas, Texas. I went to Raigad in Madhya Pradesh, started working in a steel company. And on 26th January 93, it's customary. It's 26th January, 15th August, every factory, offices, most of the time they hoist the national flag. And so did we on 26th January 93. And next day, when I was walking around, I just saw the pole. The flag was gone. I was like, where's the flag gone? They said, no, we can only fly on certain days in a year, only on the national days, only on 15th August and 26th January. I was like, that's pretty weird. You know, why can't we fly the national flag every day? It looks so good. It would inspire everyone working here. And they said, no, the rules don't permit. So I was like, I could do it in the US and I can't do it here. I said, no, this doesn't sound right. I said, let's fly the flag every day with utmost respect, and it would, people working in the company would get a feeling they're not only working for the company, but they're working for the country. And with that in mind, show the picture please. With that in mind, we put up the flag every day, and a lot of times when the government officials were visiting or some journalists were visiting, they said, you know, you're not allowed to do so. I said, if we can't do so in India, where else will we respectfully fly the Indian flag? And they just used to ignore it. One day in 94, the commissioner was visiting. He saw it, got very upset, sent the superintendent of police, and got the flag removed. At that time, actually it was in the middle of two buildings. I couldn't get the original picture, it was very old. This is the flag there now. But there was a much smaller flag, so you couldn't even see it from outside. So he sent the superintendent of police and got the flag removed. I was 24 years old, and I was in tears. I said, the only thing we wanted to do was to show our love and affection for the country. And here we can't even display our Indian flag in an independent India. So I said, we're going to do something about it. I spoke to a few lawyers. They said, you have a very good case, because the act is Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act 1971. And the act says that no person can in any way deface, mutilate, burn upon, trample upon the flag, cannot do anything wrong to the flag. But it doesn't say anything about someone respectfully flying the flag. So what stopped us from flying the flag was the Flag Code of India. Flag Code of India was merely executive instructions. Executive instructions are instructions issued by the government from time to time. So I said, okay, we must do something about it. But I was stopped by the people in my office. They said, you know, any of our works don't get done, and if we file a case against the government, none of our works will get done. So it was a very difficult decision for me, but then drawing inspiration from my father, who always taught that if we believe in something, we must stand up to it. And a coward dies many times and the brave dies only once. So I decided to go ahead and we filed a writ petition in Delhi High Court in February 95. And within 6 months, we got a judgment in our favor saying that government had no right because freedom to fly the flag, the right to fly the flag comes from freedom of speech and expression, a right enshrined in our constitution, and the government has no business to withdraw that right by issuing executive instructions. So within 6 months, and it was a very interesting incident in the court, because the judges asked the government council that, do you have any problems if somebody was to fly Pakistani flag in India? They said, sir, we don't have any problems, but the Pakistanis may have a problem. So obviously, Pakistanis would love if Indians were flying the Pakistani flag. So this, in September 95, we got the judgment. I was very happy, started to fly the flag everywhere, but it was only short-lived. In February 96, Government of India, Union of India went to the Supreme Court. They filed a special petition, and on the first day, Supreme Court stayed the High Court judgment. Staying of a judgment means as if the judgment doesn't exist. So I was very upset. We removed the flag. But then, an eminent lawyer, Mr. Shanti Bhushan, he said, no, you can continue to fly the flag because you're not infringing any law of the land. And anyway, Flag Code of India is only executive instruction. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. So he gave us a legal opinion. I started to fly the flag every day. At which the collector Raigad and superintendent of police in Raigad, they wrote a letter to the Government of India. And the SP wrote exactly. He said, उच्चतम न्यायालय के आदेश के बावजूद राष्ट्रीय ध्वज पूर्ण राष्ट्रीय भावना के साथ फहराना जारी है. इसमें उच्चतम न्यायालय के आदेश की अवमानना है, परंतु राष्ट्रीय ध्वज का सम्मान किया जा रहा है. At that report, Government of India files a contempt case against me. So I was very scared. You know, I mean, as a 26 years old, contempt of Supreme Court case, Union of India filing it against me. So I again went up to Mr. Shanti Bhushan. I said, what do I do? He said, remove the flag. I said, but you said I could fly the flag. So he said, to be on the safe side. I said, I don't want to be on the safe side. So he said, okay, then don't worry. You fly the flag. We'll see what happens. So when the case came up, he fought. He said, if you do something, first you have to do to me. So then anyway, courts, then they linked up this case with the main case. And then this case went on for 9 long years. So those 9 long years, it's not so easy. Every time we try to get the best lawyers, and I used to talk to them myself. I used to say that, and I also made sure I gave them only half the fees. What I said is, you're going to benefit as much as I'm going to benefit. And they all took up the case with a lot of passion. And then finally, when the government realized in the court that they have no case, I met many prime ministers, but didn't do much about it. So when the government realized that they are going to lose this case, they said, wait a minute, we're making a committee. And they made a committee. I went up, I used some pull and push and went up and met the chairman of the committee, Dr. P.D. Shenoy. So he reluctantly met me, but then after meeting me, he was very happy. He said, I want you to meet all the members of the committee. And then after a week he organized, I went and met all the members of the committee, and I said, what am I asking for? I'm only asking, I said, all of you are very senior IAS officers, but none of you are allowed to fly the flag. And the only apprehension in people's mind was that if everyone was allowed to fly the flag will lose its dignity. The flag will lose, people will misuse the flag. I said, that doesn't happen. This fear is completely ill-founded. For that fear, we should say that idols or deities must not be kept at home. They must be kept only in places of worship, because the people at home would misuse them. But that doesn't happen. When we keep idols or deities at home, we worship them. Or same with holy books. The holy books should only be kept in places of worship. So when I spoke to them, and I said, if any one of you given a chance, would you insult the flag? They said, no. I said, would you want to fly the flag? They said, yes. I said, what am I asking for? If somebody wants to respectfully fly the flag, then they must be allowed to do so. So anyway, they gave a report, and then the government also seeked comments from all the state governments. And 90%, it's sad to say, but 90% of the state governments replied in the negative, that people should not be allowed to fly the flag. Then anyway, in 2002, then government amended the flag code. They issued a new executive instructions allowing people to fly the flag. Then government wanted to withdraw the case from the Supreme Court. We said, no, wait a minute. Today you have a new set of executive instructions, and we requested the Honorable Supreme Court to pass a judgment on it. And then finally on 23rd January 2004, the Supreme Court ruled that display of the national flag by any citizen is his fundamental right under freedom of speech and expression. And that was the first time people of this land, of our country, because we got the right to display the national flag every day with pride and respect. It was the first time in thousands of years of history. Thank you. In thousands of years of our history, whether it was Ram Rajya, or Maurya, or Ashoka, or the Mughals, or the Britishers, the flag belonged to the ruler, never the people. And when we became independent, we became a republic, the same people who were in power, they used it as a government flag, to fly over the government buildings, to fly over the official residences of the Prime Minister, President, the ministers, and etc. So for the first time, it has become a national flag where every one of us, because we may be from different religion, different political affiliations, different castes, but we are all Indians. And the national flag is symbolic of that. So it is my dream that as a symbolic gesture, that all of us display the greatest symbol of our country, because obviously, I'm not going into the history, its colors, everything is very, very meaningful. And so if everyone was to display the national flag, and most importantly, live by the ideals of the national flag. Ideals of the national flag are the same as ideals of the country. And if everyone does their own job well, if I did my job well and you did your job well, then there's no power on earth which can stop India from becoming one of the greatest countries in the world. So to do this, because we got this right for the first time, still only 1% people maybe, or maybe even less than 1% people are actually displaying the national flag. So we're making an effort to popularize the use of national flag, to make it fashionable to wear the national flag. Because when a person starts to display the national flag, he is not going to say, what has my country done for me? The flag would always remind us of our duties towards our country. The flag would always inspire us to do something for the country. So we are trying to encourage people to fly more and more, and I would request all of you and encourage you to wear the national flag. I've got lapel pins for you, I've got wristbands for you, and then experience the happiness, the joy, the inspiration it brings into your lives. So I would encourage all of you to do that. And now we're trying to put up a big monumental flagpoles. And this was again interesting incident. You saw a picture of Sachin Tendulkar wearing the flag on his helmet. When the government amended the flag code, they also amended the act, and they said anyone doing that, there was only 3 years imprisonment for this. It was, you would have said this is disrespect to the national flag, and 3 years imprisonment was there. So as soon as Sachin Tendulkar learned, he removed it. And then I was in the parliament at that time. We took it up in the committee, and then it was passed unanimously by both the houses of parliament that they allowed that above the waist you could wear the national flag on t-shirts, on jackets, on caps, helmets, and everything. I had gone for a competition. I had gone for a shooting competition, a World Cup in Brazil. And on my cap, the company's name was written, the company, the maker of the gun. It was written Beretta. So you're not allowed to do that. So when they check your equipment and everything, he put a black tape on it. And he said, you should have your flag. You can put your country's flag on it, but you can't write any name over it. And I was like, I didn't want to tell him that we're not allowed to put even our country's flag, even if representing the country. So I'm very happy that in 2005, this got changed. And another interesting incident is, there was to be smoking in the parliament. So I requested the speaker, I said, sir, we passed this law, that in public places you can't be smoking. And here in the central hall of the parliament, everyone is smoking. He said, you're right. And within 2 weeks, it was Mr. Somnath Chatterjee, within 2 weeks they banned smoking. So I went to thank him. I said, sir, thank you so much. He looked at this. He said, Mr. Jindal, you're not supposed to wear a lapel pin. I said, because of this, I got to the parliament. You're saying I can't wear this? So he said, no, for this, you have to change the rules. He showed me the rule book, rule number so-and-so, you can't wear this. I said, okay, I'll write. So I got a letter signed by about 150 MPs and gave a petition. And finally, 5 years later, in February 2010, that rule has got changed. Now we can wear the lapel pin to the parliament. So I would just say, हमारे देश में देर है लेकिन अंधेर नहीं है. So we have to keep on with perseverance, keep on pursuing our passions, pursuing to make the country of our dreams, and I'm sure together we will achieve it. So now we have put up these monumental national flags, which are 207 feet high. These are the tallest flagpoles having Indian flag anywhere in the world. The flag size is 48 feet by 72 feet, which is around 3,600 square feet. And then we got the permission that even if you want to display it in the night, because it's very cumbersome to bring it down every evening and bring it up in the morning, so then the government allowed us to have them throughout 24 hours. So I hope, I've been working very hard for last 3 years to put one such flag in Delhi. I could not, so we put up 7 of these in Haryana. So anyone wishing to see this, you're welcome to come to Haryana to see these flags. And I hope, drawing inspiration from our national flag, we can all, and we can all come together. And a lot of people also say, why the flag? And maybe one day there is no need for a flag, because also it is this flag, this very flag, which differentiates us between India and Pakistan, India and Bangladesh, India and the US. Why should there be one world, one people? But till then, we'll have to evolve to that level. First, let us all come together as Indians. And this is the greatest symbol of our country, because otherwise no religion, no leader, no one person or entity is acceptable to all. But we are all Indians, and it is a symbolic of, it is the greatest symbol of our country. So let us pledge ourselves to our country as a symbolic gesture, display the greatest symbol of our country, and together work on making India the country of our dreams. And one day, when the flag is not needed, maybe we can just have one flag for the entire world. Thank you very much.